Understanding of this, and even how to control lighting, will have a profound effect on your images. It can mean the difference between a well-lit subject and a subject so dark it becomes a silhouette. Where's the sun in the sky? Is it midday and up so high that it casts deep shadows under the eyes and nose? Maybe that's what you want. Or you might want to avoid the sun altogether and bring your subject into the shade. Yes, by all means, place your subject in the light that helps you achieve the look you're going for. Might sound like common sense, but as my father used to say, common sense isn't very common. With portrait photography, it can take a bit of time to get all the elements just right.
Today I'm gonna bring you in Dartledore, Dorset, south of England, and I'm gonna show you how to take a money shot with OnePlus 5 using the best settings in manual mode. In order to do this, I need to take two pictures, one during the day and one during the night, and then blend them together with the Photoshop app. First of all, I'm gonna find the right spot and frame the shot. Then I will work in manual mode, shooting in RAW, using the lowest ISO and slightly underexpose. At this point I just have to leave the camera in position and wait for the night to take over, and then shoot the second picture in the darkest moment, which will happen in about 5 hours. This time I'm gonna shoot using a higher ISO as it's really dark, and I'm gonna select the longest exposure time and set the focus to the infinite. This is already a really nice shot straight from the camera, but by blending it with the daylight shot, I'm gonna be able to make it look even better by adding extra details to the darkest areas. But before I do that, I need to prepare the daylight shot by increasing the exposure, the contrast, the highlights, the shadows, and the clarity. Now I can blend it using the overlay option and reducing a bit its intensity. Lastly but not least, I'm gonna add a vignette and blend it as well. And that's it, the magic is done.
Street photography is all about capturing the right moment at the right time. You have that split second to get your picture right, so it challenges you as a photographer as well. You don't want to miss out on the expression because your subjects are shaky or blurred or there is some motion blur, so burst mode helps me a lot. That's one of the best things I like about the OnePlus. photos is the photo of a little girl dressed in a beautiful frock. Why I really like it is because of the innocence in her face, just standing there having no idea as to what is going on, really helped me capture her in her element. And one more thing, her name is Pari, which in English translates to an angel, and I really like that because she was standing there, she was looking exactly like an angel.
Taking a picture is not just about catching a moment in time. To me, it's rather a quest to catch the beauty which is all around us. It's an epic journey living for the unknown, to find the right place at the right time. Using the right device to frame the untamed grace. Moving into the dark as the universe reveals itself, with that outstanding ocean of stars. There I will find the right place to make the magic happen, tweaking the best settings and hitting the shutter button to capture the immense beauty that would have been otherwise lost. To me, that's what photography means.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin A. Bosch. Like many of you, I'm always on the lookout for new advances in digital photography. The OnePlus 5 provides those with the desire to fine-tune their photography a suite of professional controls to help achieve results that until recently were only available through the use of a DSLR. That's where Pro Mode and its suite of useful features comes into play. Let's take a look at some of Pro Mode's most powerful features. Features like the new histogram, adjustable screen ratio, and grids. That's not all though. Pro Mode also gives you full control over the ISO, white balance, shutter speed, focus, and exposure of your shots, and also the option to shoot in RAW. You might be wondering how each of these features work and what they can do for you. Allow me to explain. The histogram shows when a scene is overexposed or underexposed. On the left, you see your dark areas, and to the right, your bright areas. Keeping the levels in between will help you avoid underexposing shadows, or make sure that a cloud doesn't appear to be just a white blob. Being able to switch between aspect ratios is very useful and can help evoke a particular feeling in your pictures. If you're shooting a portrait, you might choose the square format, but when you're trying to capture a picturesque landscape, the 16:9 ratio may be better suited to get more of what you want in the frame. I'd recommend starting with the standard 4:3 ratio and then move to the others to achieve the right feel for your image. The grids feature can really assist novice photographers while they get used to framing and placement. You can choose from several grids, but I recommend sticking with the 3x3 grid for most scenes. Let's quickly see how they can assist you. Use the intersecting lines to place your subject, as this will often create more engaging scenes, driving the viewer's eyes to what you want to show. Now that we've covered these basics, let's see how we can use them together with the exposure controls. Getting the right exposure on the OnePlus 5 is accomplished by adjusting the shutter speed and the ISO value. Keep in mind, when using slower shutter speeds, you'll need to keep your camera steady, and with moving subjects, you may want a faster shutter speed to freeze the action. In low light conditions, you can bring up the exposure by increasing the ISO value. Adjust the white balance setting to achieve a cooler or warmer image. Of course, these are just a few examples of what you can accomplish with Pro Mode on the OnePlus 5. The most important thing is to take lots of pictures and don't be afraid to experiment. Play with the settings until you find combinations that work for you. Go out, explore, and please share your pictures. Thanks, and see you around.
What I love about landscape photography is how it can really draw you in. Lining up the perfect shot of a beautiful landscape isn't easy, but it's all worth it if you can take the photo that can transport someone right into the scene. Growing up in Greece, I was surrounded by great views. Every day was an adventure. I think that's where I got my eye for capturing vistas. I really wanted to share the landscapes and architecture I came across so others could see what I see. That's how I got into photography in the first place. I really love the creative control I get from the OnePlus 5. I can shoot in RAW to make sure I've got all the details I need to edit later. It's incredible. I mean, I can still nail a great shot even when I don't have my DSLR with me.
So today we're at the very first Open Ears Forum here in London. It's an event where we have invited around 20 of our past customers to hear directly from them.